Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
In the process of coming to terms with the COVID-19 pandemic, the world was also waking up to the concept of zoonotic diseases, where infectious viruses or other pathogens jump from animals into humans. Even through the past few months of the COVID pandemic, there were other zoonotic disease outbreaks in other parts of the world. There was a swine flu scare and a hantavirus scare in China. There were Ebola cases that have now come to an end in the Democratic Republic of Congo. There was Lassa fever in Nigeria. And now the Inner Mongolia region has sounded alarm bells for the bubonic plague this week. All these diseases are zoonotic diseases, which means that the virus or the pathogen that causes these diseases jumped from an animal species to the human species. This isn't uncommon. Nearly 60% of infectious diseases we've had through history and about 75% of emerging infectious diseases have been zoonotic in origin. In this video, we will take a look at zoonotic diseases and how and why viruses jump into humans from animals. My name is Sandhya Ramesh and this is Pure Science. Animals have passed on diseases to humans through all of human existence. In fact, even from before humans actually became modern humans. One of the first zoonotic viruses that latched on to humans actually did so by first infecting human ancestors over 80 million years ago, and this was the herpes virus. The record of this infection is found in fossil records of ancient hominins who lived at the time, although we can't correctly identify which animal they got the virus from. Even though viruses and parasites were jumping to the Homo species, there weren't very many epidemics during prehistory because human ancestors and early humans lived in nomadic groups that interacted rarely with each other as they moved around geographically, hunting and gathering. But with agriculture and the creation of settlements and settled communities, outbreaks started occurring more frequently. Smallpox, one of the most deadly diseases humanity has ever faced, is suspected to have emerged among agricultural communities in India about 10 to 11,000 years ago. It is, of course, the only human disease that we've managed to eradicate so far through intensive vaccination programs. Along with agriculture, we also started domesticating other farm animals apart from dogs and cats. These included animals like goats, sheep, pigs, cattle, and even horses or camels for riding. All these animals came in contact with the human species along with their own reservoir of viruses that they were holding in their bodies. These have led to many diseases among humans, with some rare human-to-human transmissions such as with the influenza viruses. Diseases like smallpox and polio were recorded through history and even depicted by art and carvings all over the world from centuries ago. Through wars and trade, endemic diseases from all parts of the world spread to the rest of the world during the age of discovery, through the great period of exploration, and through colonial time periods, and of course in the modern present day that is well connected by travel. We are familiar with a lot of zoonotic diseases, and we might either not know that they were zoonotic, such as tuberculosis or measles, or we knew they were but it just didn't register in our minds, like rabies. Zoonotic diseases are not uncommon. They are found all around us and we've studied all about them. They don't necessarily need to be caused by viruses either. The diseases can also be caused by bacteria, fungi, and other parasites that can jump species. But the most infamous epidemic outbreaks have all been caused by viruses, including the Black Death, which was a plague outbreak that killed millions, and the Spanish flu, which was an influenza outbreak that also killed millions. All of the most recent zoonotic diseases have also been caused by viruses such as Nipah, Ebola, SARS, and so on. And viruses are like a superpower. Till date, we do not have a single drug that can kill a virus in our body. The only dent we've made on viruses is by eliminating one after hundreds of centuries of living with it, followed by 5 centuries of attempting to medicinally fight it, with about 2 centuries of having a functioning vaccine. But viruses have made a huge dent on our existence. It is thought that nearly 8% of the human genome is just fragments left over from viruses that have infected us through history. When a virus jumps from one species to another, the process is called a spillover event. The SARS-CoV-2 virus, or the novel coronavirus, it's not really novel. It would have probably existed for thousands, if not millions of years, and had been evolving, and it is only now that it had spilled over into the human population. The spillover process is not fully understood just yet, and it is very complex. Because our cells are different from animal cells, or the cells in the bodies of any two animals are different from each other, viruses need to adapt and evolve to be able to use their appendages, like the spike protein on their structure, to gain entry into a new host's cells. If the virus doesn't evolve to do this well, it will not be able to replicate or transmit, and thus will not be successful in that species. Before the COVID-19 pandemic occurred, we knew that we were at a risk of an infectious zoonotic outbreak. A lot of experts thought it might be an influenza virus outbreak. The virologists who studied coronaviruses specifically say that the SARS-CoV-2 virus appears to be a recombinant virus of a virus found in bats called the rat G13 virus, and another virus that was isolated from a pangolin. Each time a virus establishes itself in a new host, it has undergone mutation to help it survive and thrive in the host. Sometimes, 2 different kinds of viruses from the same family can mix together to form a third kind inside of a host, which can then go on to infect a new host. Pigs are especially good for facilitating zoonotic transmission because they can be infected by both human as well as avian influenza viruses. These strains can mix and produce new recombinant strains that are more adapted to transmission among humans or other mammalian species. There were theories in the early days of the COVID-19 outbreak that the intermediate animal that brought the virus into the human population from bats was a pangolin, but we stopped saying that with certainty very quickly. Which species transmitted the virus to us remains one of the biggest mysteries of this outbreak. How and where the spillover event occurred could potentially provide a lot of clues into researching possible future outbreaks, which are now only likely to grow more common. A UN Environment Programme report was released on Monday, warning us that due to unsustainable human activity, our risk of zoonotic infectious outbreaks is now steadily rising. The report points out that the world's expanding population is putting humans increasingly at risk for newer outbreaks as humans and animals are being pushed closer and closer together. The report identifies 7 trends that seem to be driving the increasing emergence of zoonotic diseases. These include increasing human demand for animal protein, unsustainable agricultural intensification, increased use and exploitation of wildlife, unsustainable utilization of natural resources accelerated by urbanization, land use change in extractive industries, increased travel and transportation, changes in food supply, and the ongoing climate crisis. The report warns that the only way to bring down the risk of future zoonotic outbreaks is by, I quote, uniting medical, veterinary, and environmental expertise to help governments, businesses, and civil society achieve enduring health for people, animals, and environments alike. Thank you for watching this video.